Alright, so today start a new project, even though I haven't finished some of my other projects yet. This one hopefully is kind of just a small to medium one. And here's what I plan to do. I'm going to take this dump trailer. So this is a bin dump trailer. It's a full-on registered auto trailer with a 2,000 pound capacity. And obviously this is something that's been used for, the guy I bought it off of was using it for landscaping. But you know, it'd be for what? Landscaping, garbage, whatever it is. And there's a winch on the front there. The whole bin tilts, and that's how you dump it. So what I want to use it for is for two things. One is for lake weeds at the lake, and the other is for dredging also at the lake. This bin is quite a bit bigger than what I need it to be. And it's kind of, you know, it's a bit industrial. It's not really something I can leave at the lake. So I have to make it look a bit better. It's bigger than what I need and want really. So I'm going to cut it down in size, and I'm going to modify it so that I can run a trash pump to it for dredging. So first step is I'm going to cut the top off with a plasma cutter, reattach the top. Obviously I'll weld that on. And then I'm going to figure out something to do with the lids to connect it for dredging. For dredging, basically I'm going to be using like dewatering bags to dewater the input coming in. So it'll suck up mud and weeds, filter the water out. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so a fair amount of grinding and welding later. This lip has been cut off and re-welded on. So it's got this lip all the way around. It's fully welded all the way around, just MIG welded, but that should be pretty watertight. Things I have to do is, this is where the pin comes through. I'll seal that off for watertight. In the bottom there's a bit of work there. And then the main thing is the lid. So for the lid, what I plan on doing is using that expanded steel. And then I have some angle iron. So basically I'm going to make a frame out of angle iron, put the expanded steel sheet in there, and then the dewatering filter will be sandwiched in there. So that's the next step, is building the lid. So these are just cheap weld-on hinges. Steel, of course. There's a grease nipple and just this brass bushing. So just one piece of steel there. Should be fine. Okay, I think it's time for a progress update. So I've been making progress. I've had the camera off for most of it just because, just to keep going with productivity. I gotta keep moving on this. I wanna get back to the airboat build, so I'd like this one to get done as soon as possible. Anyway, so the lid is now completely done. Wow, it's heavy, but it is fully hinged. It has the 2 layers of this expanded sheet metal, and the dewatering filter is going to go in between. And I'll show you guys that later. But basically, the one panel lifts up, the filter goes in between, and it's sandwiched on either side. And as you guys could probably tell, it is pretty heavy. It's probably, I don't know, probably about 100 pounds, I guess, maybe 80, somewhere around there. So I have the oh, it'll go this way. I have the mounts for the these gas struts, and these are just cheap gas struts I bought off Amazon. But basically, these are 20-inch. They compress down to about 12-inch, and they'll go there. The strut is expanded right now, so I can put it on. If I lift it up, I can get it to click on. It goes on and off pretty easily. But these struts here are 150-pound capacity. I think it's 150 pounds per strut. So these are too strong for what I need. So I've got a pair of 80s on order. I should get them tomorrow. And between the 2 80s, that's probably going to be about right. So with the struts on there, the lid will be easy to lift. And then the lid is pretty much done. So what are the next steps? Well, there's basically 4 more things that need to be done. One is I will be waterproofing everything on the inside, so making it all watertight. Then the other thing is at the very bottom, I'm going to cut a hole out of the bottom and use that expanded steel and the same dewatering filter at the bottom. And the third thing I need to do is connect an attachment point for the dredge pump. So it's a 3-inch trash pump is what I'll be using, and it'll connect in just to this inlet. So this is aluminum. I'm going to make an aluminum plate, weld this to the plate, and bolt the plate to here. And so this will be the inlet for the trash pump for dredging. And the fourth thing will be to paint it all. So the trailer itself is in pretty good shape with gray paint, but just from all the taking apart and welding the actual bin here, I'll paint it black. So it'll be an epoxy primer and then a 2-part satin black paint. This is the inlet from the trash pump. So a 3-inch with the cam locks. It's aluminum, but it wasn't the best aluminum for welding. A bit of contamination there, but that should be fine. I've got it inside and out, so it should be, well, it's definitely going to be watertight, and should be plenty strong. I'm just going to mount it right there. So I'll use a plasma, I'll cut a hole, and then probably some riv nuts or maybe bolts. And I'll put some silicone down as a gasket. I painted the inside of the bin with Pour 15. I think it'll work well for this. Basically just coated it on real nice and thick. It should be pretty durable. The outside of the bin will get just conventional urethane auto paint. And the reason why is because apparently the Pour 15 isn't very good for UV exposed. But it should be good for the inside of the bin. So the last step is to put in the dewatering filters. So this is the dewatering bag, and it's just, I don't even know what it's made out of, some sort of synthetic bag. I have another style that's more of a weave. This is, I guess, like a tighter weave, kind of an amorphous kind of, I don't know, fibrous material of some sort. Anyway, the whole point of this is it filters the water. It'll keep the sediment in the trailer. Water should come out. This is, I think, basically a 6x6 foot bag, somewhere around there. I got this on Amazon for quite cheap. I hope it works. The other bag I have, the woven type, was quite a bit more expensive. So we'll see which type works better, how long it lasts. You know, will it need to be replaced? I'm not sure. We'll basically find out. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to cut this into the shape for the panels. So there's the 2 panels this size on the top, and then there's the one on the bottom. To seal the lid down to the bin, I'm using this foam rubber seal. So sticky on one side, it's pretty compressible. I kind of had to just guess on the size, but I think that's going to actually work pretty well. And then obviously to clamp it down, I have just the rubber clamps on the front, and then on the side here, these like screw clamp things. So with 2 on each side and 2 in the front with all 6, it clamps down pretty tight. I will have to see if it actually seals, and I don't know how much water pressure it's going to make. There's going to be pretty high volume of water going in, but there's a pretty large surface area for the water to come out, so I'm hoping it doesn't really build much pressure, just high volume. that's that. It is done.